Zeit für Deutsch.
Hello and welcome back to your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute. Got an email this week from someone asking about a video on gardening, and I thought, I had to have done that before. So I checked all my playlists, and son of a gun, I did not. I did a video a couple years ago on vegetables, and I'll link that video down below in the information on the YouTube channel page. But I realized that I had never done a video on words associated with gardening, various tools you might use while gardening, etc., etc. So today's a vocabulary video. You can practice. Of course, it's the time of year. I'm making this video in early April, which is prime time for getting ready to start gardening, or at least thinking about your garden. So here we go. All right, the word for garden, da Gaarde. Da Gaarde. The row, singular, die Roy, and the plural, die Roye, die Roye. So the word for a hoe and the verb to hoe, die hak, and the verb is hakke, hakke. The word for rake and the verb to rake, da Reche, and the verb Reche, Reche. The word for shovel and the verb to shovel, die Schipp, and scheppe, scheppe. The words for ground and dirt, da Grund, and da Dreck, Dreck. Dreck can also be the word for, Dreck can be a lot of things. Dirt, of course, when you add an ig to the end, dreckig is the word dirty, but Dreck can also be used to refer to like animal excrement. Hinkeldreck, for example, chicken poop. Dreck can also be just another word for poop, but it does mean dirt, so I included that word that way. All right, the word for vegetable. There's two words that I'm familiar with. There's Gemies, and Gaardesach, Gaardesach. Either one you can use. The word for a plant and to plant, die Blans, and blanse. Now, our favorite thing in the world, weeds. So there's two words that I'm familiar with for the word for a weed or the weed, and then the verb to weed I'll explain here in a minute. So words that you can use for a weed, da Schtengel, or es Ungraut, Now, if you're going to say you need to weed the garden, for example, or you need to weed something, I have the ellipses, the three dots there. You would say es Ungraut rausroppe. Rausroppe is the verb to pull out or to pick out. So you would pick out the weeds. If you were going to say, like, I must weed the garden, for example. Ich muss die Ungraut rausroppe. So Ungraut, plural. You can look that up, but there you go. Now, words for fertilizer, there's two. Honestly, you have to make a distinction here. There is no modern word that I know of for fertilizer like what you would buy at the store. My dad and my grandfather always just called it the phosphate. Greg die phosphate, go get the fertilizer. There's the traditional word da Mischt, but Mischt is again animal droppings, which is what was the original fertilizer, particularly horse manure, for example. So you could say Mischt if you're using actual Mischt. If not, if you go to Lowe's and you buy a bag of fertilizer or True Value or wherever, then you probably should use the word phosphate or just use the English word fertilizer. Greg die fertilizer. Go get the fertilizer, for example. The verb to water, so you have to water your plants or water your garden. Wässere. And the verbs to harvest and to pick. So the aernde is to harvest. And then there's two verbs to pick. Let's say, oh, we got to go pick the peas or pick the beans. Picke and roppe. Picke and roppe. Both of those can be used to pick. And the last word, I would imagine if you're a good Pennsylvania Dutch gardener, you're going to can some of this stuff at the once you pick it, whether it's your tomatoes or whatever you're canning. There's the verb to can, which is I kanne. Or I've also seen I mache. Eimache. I just thought of that one after I typed this all up. So there are some words associated with gardening. I'm sure some of you are gardeners, so you can utilize these words. Practice them, of course. If there's words that you want to know that I didn't include in this video, check out padutchdictionary.com. A quick Google search, PA Dutch Dictionary. It should be the very first thing that hits. You can type in the English word that you're looking for. It will give you the Pennsylvania Dutch word for it. If you have an idea for a future video, email me, and I'll try to get to that. I have a couple emails that have given me some really great ideas for future videos, so I'm looking forward to making some of those. Keep practicing your Pennsylvania Dutch. If, as I'm making this, we're still in coronavirus quarantine here in Pennsylvania, so it's a great time if you're bored sitting at home or you have kids and they're bored, have them start learning some Pennsylvania Dutch, or have them practice their Pennsylvania Dutch. Now's a great time to do that. I hope you were all safe and sound. And if you're watching this in the future, I hope that I hope all of this ended quickly. All right, keep practicing your Pennsylvania Dutch. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so. And until next time, macht's gut.
Macht's gut.